Hey, what's up? Just look at this box. It is huge, especially considering that it contains a Wi-Fi extender and a wireless access point. If you think that this is just a big box, then no. In fact, the device inside is also big. You know, we have already tested some Wi-Fi extenders on our channel, Tech Brothers, but this one is a monster and a giant compared to the previous ones. So this is a WAVLINK AX3000 Wi-Fi 6 outdoor access point. As you can see, it is specifically designed for outdoor use, for example, on a farm, in a garden, in a yard, etc. Because it has a weatherproof design, long-range Wi-Fi coverage up to 300 meters in radius, Wi-Fi 6 dual-band support, optional PoE power supply, multiple modes support, such as mesh, AP, router, repeater, and others. We will see if this device really improves the wireless internet signal. But first, let's unbox it, take a look at the design, and see how to set it up. So you have already seen the box that the Wi-Fi outdoor access point comes in. There is a WAVLINK company logo, the product image, and its main features on the front, such as AX3000 Mbps dual-band, active and passive PoE, reinforced antennas, and IP67 waterproof. You can also read more about this Wi-Fi extender on the back of the box. When we open the box, we see that the device is very well packed inside. Let's take it out, but we will take a closer look a little later. There is also a package with accessories and a package with antennas. The accessories include a quick start guide and perforated positioning card, silicone pads, power adapter, Ethernet cable, screws and screw plugs, wrench, PoE converter and ceiling cover. The box labeled antennas contains 4 antennas. And cable ties. If this is your first Wi-Fi extender or access point, you are probably a little confused. We will walk you through the setup and installation in this video. But now let's take a closer look at the device. So I think we should start by talking about the size of this Wi-Fi extender, because it is really big and probably one of the biggest on the market. Its dimensions are 240 by 240 by 75 mm. The weight is 1095 grams. The case of the access point is made of plastic, but it is weatherproof, specifically IP67 waterproof, dustproof, freezing-proof, and it has 15 kV ESD lighting protection. However, please note that the PoE power adapter is not waterproof. In addition, when connecting the Ethernet cable, you must use the ceiling cover included in the kit. Here is what it looks like. We will talk more about the connection later. There is also a physical button on the bottom of the access point. You can press it for 1 second to pair and 6 seconds to reset. When the access point is connected to the power supply, the status indicator lights up. On the back of the product, we can see a sticker with some information about it, such as serial number, IP address, login, password, and so on. There is also a bracket with 4 screws for mounting the access point on a pole or other location. There are also 6 screws around the perimeter, and it looks like the Wi-Fi extender can be taken apart. But I am not going to do that right now. Of course, you will need to install the antennas on the access point. It comes with 4 antennas. Please note the 2.4 and 5 GHz marks on the antennas and the access point. Overall, the WAVLINK AX3000 looks like a sturdy and reliable outdoor access point. The main thing is to install it securely. We will come back to this a little later, but for now, let's turn it on and take a look at the software settings. As you can see, the WAVLINK access point doesn't have a power connector, so we need to use a PoE converter. This is made specifically so that you can place the access point as far away from your home as possible, but up to 100 meters, because that is the maximum length of any Ethernet cable. First, you need to plug the power cable into the DC-in port of the PoE converter. After that, plug the power adapter into a power outlet. The next step is to connect the Ethernet cable to the PoE port on the converter and to the access point. Finally, you need to connect the Ethernet cable to the LAN data in port on the converter and the LAN port on your router. That's it. After completing these simple steps, you will see two new Wi-Fi networks, named WAVLINK, on your computer or a mobile device. One of them is 5G and the other is 2.4G. Connect to either one. After that, you will need to open a browser on your computer or a mobile device and enter the address weblogin.link. The default password is admin. As you can see, by default, the access point works in the AP mode, but you can change this in the settings. You can also see other information about access point in this admin panel, such as CPU usage, memory usage, IP status, and Wi-Fi status. In the wireless section, you will find the Wi-Fi SSID, encryption method, and password. The advanced settings include 2.4G and 5G Wi-Fi settings. There is also an advanced section available here with following functions: device status, mode selection, network settings, parental control, firmware update, backup and restore, time zone, admin password, timing reboot, network diagnostics, LED control, signal adjustment, guest Wi-Fi, and LAN static IP. These are all the settings available on the WAVLINK AX3000 access point. As I already said, you can choose the operating mode for it, such as repeater, AP, mesh router, mesh AP, and mesh extender. I will leave you a link to the official video in the description, which talks about the differences between these modes. I plan to use the access point in repeater mode, so that it connects to my router wirelessly and improves the Wi-Fi signal. I also want to combine 2.4G and 5G networks into the one network so that the access point automatically selects the best frequency for my device. Okay, now let's see how to install the WAVLINK access point correctly and securely, and then we will check if it really works. First, you need to find the best place to install the access point. If you live in a house, the manufacturer recommends placing the access point as high as possible for better signal. If you are placing the access point on a pole, you can use two silicon pads and cable ties, as shown in this video. You can also install the Wi-Fi extender to the wall by drilling 4 holes and inserting the screws. As for me, I live in an apartment, so I will probably install the access point on my balcony and check how much it will increase the Wi-Fi signal from my router. Finally, let's move on to the test. I will check the Wi-Fi speed on my smartphone when connected to the router and when connected to the WAVLINK access point. You should also know that I have a 100 megabits per second internet connection from my ISP, so the maximum download and upload speed is around 100 megabits per second. However, the maximum speed when using 2.4G band is 573 megabits per second and 2402 megabits per second when using the 5G band. So first, let's check the Wi-Fi speed near the router and access point. Download and upload speeds are about the same, 100 megabits per second. Now I walk 15 meters further from the router and access point. The download speed on the router is the same, 100 megabits per second, but the upload speed drops to 72 megabits per second. As for access point, it still provides around 100 megabits per second for download and upload, and even a little higher. Then I walk 30 meters away from the router and access point. The download speed and upload speed when connected to the router are 81 and just 8 megabits per second, respectively. However, when connected to the access point, the Wi-Fi connection speed doesn't drop at all, still the same 100 megabits per second. Then I walk 50 meters away from the router and access point. The smartphone is still connected to the router, but the download speed is 27 megabits per second, and the upload has failed. As for the access point, the Wi-Fi speed began to slow down, though not significantly, 94 and 84 megabits per second for download and upload respectively. And finally I reached the last point, 70 meters from the router and access point. Now my smartphone has no connection to the router, but it is still connected to the access point. However, the Wi-Fi speed is quite low. So after testing, I conclude that the WAVLINK AX3000 access point really improves the Wi-Fi signal at a distance of up to 50 meters, and perhaps even more if you have open area without obstacles. Although I tested the access point on my balcony since I live in an apartment, it is designed to be installed and used outdoors. It has a weatherproof design, so it can withstand rain, sun, frost, and other elements. The installation process is pretty simple, and there is everything you need to install it correctly in the package. As for the connection, I didn't have any problems with that either. I think that connecting via a PoE converter is a very convenient solution for transmitting power and data over a single Ethernet cable. You can also use the access point in different modes, such as AP, router, repeater, and mesh. So the WAVLINK AX3000 is a useful device for improving Wi-Fi coverage in your house, yard, playground, park, outdoor cafe, etc. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon!